Come on. Come on.
Yes, YouTube, welcome back to another video. So a little bit different one time, and these videos in the week are gonna be all educational. I've been coaching now for nearly 10 years. So even though I share a lot of what I do on the Sunday videos, on all the other videos, we're not really diving into any specific topics too much, and that's what these videos are gonna bring, because we have got now, with Coach Coliseum, hundreds and hundreds of elite transformations, right? Where we've gone from being super skinny to putting on 15, 20 kilos, 30, 40, 50 kilo, or we've pulled all that body fat off, got lean, had a big gaining phase, and then got shredded from that point, right? We've got every single thing there covered, different jobs, all of this stuff. So for me to be able to share that and a look at how we do and what's behind what we do, then you're gonna take a lot of value from that. So if you do, make sure you drop a like and make sure you let me know what you want me to cover. So in this one, we're gonna go through what you need to be doing now before you diet down. The start point for your fat loss phase is the most important part of that fat loss phase. I promise you, if you have a terrible start point, you're gonna struggle. I promise you that, right? Either you don't give yourself enough time, or you've got no structure there and you start food really, really low, and then where are we gonna pull from? We've got nothing there. So step one now is setting that time frame. You've got a bit of time now before summer, so you've got time to work with this. That's why we're starting with this topic. So for example, we've got the team shoot on the 11th of July. So I know those boys on the 21st of March are gonna be 16 weeks out. So the ones that need a little bit longer, say we might have 18, the ones that might need a little bit less, okay, we might have 14, even 12. Set out the time frame there, have that there, so you know when I'm recording this video, right, those boys who are doing the shoot are 16 weeks out on the 21st. They've got 4 weeks now to get all of this stuff in place. Well, we've already got it in place, but that would be you getting that in place. And then it's 16 weeks to diet down. So set your time frame there. When do you want to be leanest for? When do you want to get in shape for? Okay, how long do you have then to push up? And then we know when we're pulling down from there. So setting that time frame is the most important, and that links on with number two. So number two and setting the time frame kind of work together. So let's say you're around 80 kilo now, and you know you're gonna want to be around that 70 kilo mark. It doesn't have to be exact, but you know there you need at least 10 weeks. That would be 10 weeks of losing a kilo per week. Is that gonna be a smart approach? Probably not. Could you do that if you absolutely had to? Yes. Will you look your best? Probably not. Are you gonna feel terrible? Yes. Are you gonna be miserable? Yes, because you're just gonna have to do a stupid amount of everything. So give yourself time there. For example, let's say I've got one of the boys who's doing the shoot prep. Say we are trying to pull off 10 kilo and we've got 16 weeks for that. So we can be losing 0.5 to 1 kilo per week there, right? And then they'd be on point. So I know that as a coach, and I've already got that mapped out now in advance. So for you, if you know you need to lose 10 kilo and you always start dieting down 8 weeks before you go on holiday, are you really gonna lose 1.2, 1.3 kilo per week? Probably not, right? It's probably not gonna happen throughout the whole time. And like I said, even if it does, you're gonna feel terrible. So if you've got 15 kilo to lose, probably gonna need to be starting now. If you've got only 4 kilo you wanna pull off, okay, then we can be looking at 6 to 8 weeks. So have the goal set of where you are, work backwards from that. Okay, how much do we want to lose? Give yourself a little bit of room there and start there. So for example, you've got 12 kilo to pull off. I'm gonna need at least 16 weeks for that to do that properly. We've got 8 kilo to pull off. Okay, we could do that in 12, 14. So have that there, set that up now, have a think about how much roughly you're gonna want to pull off, and then give yourself enough time. That is the number one thing. Don't give yourself 6 weeks to lose 8 kilo or 10 kilo. It's just not gonna work. You're gonna get annoyed, you're gonna get frustrated, and you'll go away again, not in the shape you want. So once you've got that, it's right. What can we crack on with now? And the number one thing with that, number three, is getting food on point now. You need to know how much you're eating. You don't wanna get to that point, right? Say the shoot prep again. 16 weeks out, okay, what food do we go on? No, right? Say if I've got a client who is on 3,500 calories, I know, right, okay, I bring them down to 2,800, 2,700, we're gonna see that drop straight away. Straight away, we're into a deficit, straight away we'll work. So you have to get that food on point now. Start getting that food consistent. And if you've got 4, 5, 6 weeks till you need to pull down, use this time now to train hard and get that food as high as possible. Because if you're drilling 3,000 calories, 3,000 calories, 3,000 calories, 3,000 calories, great. We now know what to pull away from to start that. Again, all the guys who are doing the shoot, I know where their food is, I know where we're gonna bring that down. So if you have not got food consistent now, you've just been winging it, you're doing whatever, or you're just trying to eat as much as you can or whatever it is, start hitting a consistent amount of calories now, because that is the start point. That is ridiculously important. Number 4 is your training, right? Not only might you be able to build some tissue in this time now before you start pulling down, but you want that training in a good place for when you start dieting down. This is when now you set the standard for your training before you pull down. So say you've got 4 weeks and then you're gonna need that 16 weeks to pull down. Absolutely drill your training now. Get training standardized, get your form on point, get everything under control and actually following a proper program so you can see, right, this is how much my movements are moving up. This is where my strength is at. This is how I feel. So then that is all going to be data once you do move into that diet phase. Right, okay, we know where them numbers are at. We know once body weight's coming down, we're gonna try and hold on to this strength, hold on to them numbers. Let's push as hard as we possibly can to hold on to all of that. You set your numbers now. If you've got a 12-week fat loss phase or a 16-week fat loss phase, if you can do your absolute best to hold on to all of that strength from that training, then you know you are gonna do your absolute best in terms of holding on to that muscle tissue. And that obviously is very, very important. That is what we want to do for that end look. Remember, hold on to strength, hold on to that muscle tissue, start that now. Get that in place ASAP, because that is gonna massively help. So number 5, again, as part of that routine, steps and cardio. Let's get that set now. So if you have got no idea where your steps are at, for example, right? That is gonna be a tool that we can use. Obviously, you know if you're doing cardio or not. If you do, try and keep that consistent. Don't go crazy with it, then we've got room to push. Say with steps, if you've got no idea, let's log a day. If it's close to 6K, okay, let's do 6K consistently. Let's just get in the routine of hitting that number. And then when we go into that fat loss phase, we can go for 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 if it's needed, 1,000 steps daily. So get them nice and consistent now, because then you've already got the data, you're already in that routine, and you can just put your foot on the gas then when it's time to make some changes in your fat loss phase. And number 6 is we wanna be fresh. We wanna be ready to roll before we start pulling down. So let's get into that good routine now. Let's try and get into that routine with sleep. Nice and simply, how much sleep do we need? Let's say we're shooting for 7 hours, we're shooting for 8 hours. Okay, what time do we need to get up? Most likely when we're working, right? So what time do we need to get up? Let's give ourselves enough time then to fall asleep and set that time to get phone off, set that time to wake up. That is our circadian rhythm. That is how we're gonna get our sleep quality much, much better. From that then, I would cut fluids, and this is what we say to all clients, I would cut fluids an hour away from bed, so you're not gonna be waking up going to the toilet. And to give us time to digest the food, I would keep food 2 hours away where we can from that. Caffeine, keep 7 hours away. Let's get in that routine now. For me, I'm up at 5:30 every day. I'm firing off 7 hours sleep. I feel great off that. I've had that for today, right? And I feel great. So if I can get my phone off at 10, and be asleep by 10:30, I know that that's 7 hours sleep. So I will keep as close to that routine as I possibly can. Some nights it might be different, and that's fine, and things pop up, and don't stress. But on your standard days, get in that routine now, because that's where we're gonna really wanna try and stay, and that will make a massive difference again for that end look. And then number 7 is start taking your weight every single day and get in the routine of getting pictures. We ask all clients for pictures every single week for their check-in. That is what you need to look at that day. Okay, now we've got all of that set up. What is happening week to week? Let's have a look at that. Let's see those changes, and then we can carry that on into the fat loss phase. The weight is the data from that. So we need to know where we're at. We need to know how them steps are affecting that, how that training is affecting that, all of that there. So in the morning, wake up, go to the toilet, jump on the scales. Just get that as part of your routine. Record that down. A fantastic app we get clients to use is Happy Scale, and then we will look at that data. Get that on there. record that down. Let's see actually where you're at. So then once you've got all of those 7, you know now exactly where you're at. Because you're fresh, because you're ready to roll, because you've got that start point perfect, and we've got the time frame, and we know when we're starting, and we know what we're aiming for, we know roughly what rate of loss we need. So if we're not keeping up track with that 0.6, 0.7, that's when we need to make changes and push. So get all of that data in place, and that is when you can actually go away this year, or just go through summer, or whatever you want to aim for, in the shape that you want to be, in the condition that you want to be. Any questions with any of that, make sure you just hit me in the comments. Message me anytime. DMs are always open on any socials as well. So a little bit of a different video. If you found that informative, then please let me know, because I massively appreciate it. And if you are interested in our help in terms of setting everything up for exactly what you need to be doing, then the link to coaching, to join us at the Coaching Coliseum, is always, boys, in the description there. If you're not subbed, get subbed, and there will be another vid out in a few days. So I'll see you there. Peace.